What I have in my Save a Dive kit, I'm so glad you asked. Let me tell you. It's right here. Look at my Save a Dive kit. Isn't it beautiful? Okay. All right. First thing that I have is a little toolkit. Do you see how beautiful it is? It has a bunch of Allen wrenches and a little Phillips head screwdriver and a little flathead screwdriver. And it allows me to fix minor things or issues that could come up with our equipment. And this is a very handy little tool. Folds up, takes basically no space. Amazing. Next thing that I have a spare DIN adapter. So I have a DIN first stage, and I often go around the US and the Caribbean where usually they have yoke. So I always have my DIN adapter with me. I have one on my reg, and then I have a backup in case something happens or in case somebody needs it. I then have not one, but 2 spare mouthpieces. These are really easy to change on your second stage and on your alternate octopus. And these are easy to get damaged. You might bite into them, or they might just fall apart because you've been chewing them for a while. And it's a really easy repair to make. It's a 1 zip tie. You pull it out, you put it back in, tie the zip tie. So obviously the mouthpiece has to come with a zip tie, which this has. Next, always, of course, I have a spare mask strap. I will tell you a story. I was literally at the surface, about to go down, LP hose up there, ready to deflate. Guess what happens? Boing! My mask strap breaks, just like that, no warning. So I, luckily, had a spare mask strap. And you can change it out, and it will really mess with your entire dive trip or your dive if you don't have one to exchange it for. I have rubber bands. Why? Because who travels without rubber bands? That'd be just insane. You always travel with rubber bands no matter what. So this is a mini kit that I created for myself. I have a large box of O-rings of all shapes and sizes. But when I travel, I don't want to go around with my big box. So instead, what I have is, I have a couple of these, which are used to remove the O-rings from wherever they may be stuck or located. And then I have 2 or 3 O-rings of each size in a smaller baggie ready to go. I also have a tubing. You never know. You may need to attach something. These are actually really, really helpful. For example, I will duct tape them or electrical tape them to a pencil and then electrical tape them to a slate. And I've used it for teaching or communicating. That's been really helpful. Next, I have electrical tape. Who goes around without electrical tape? That's just crazy. You don't have electrical tape in your pocket? That's just crazy. Okay, so I have electrical tape for a number of reasons. The first one is, as I mentioned, it's good to tie stuff together that needs to be tied together. But other reason that it's important is because when I get gear, I buy it or, I bring it with me, I actually tie blue electrical tape to it. So it's very clear whose equipment is mine because all of my equipment has blue electrical tape wrapped around it. This one is one of my favorite things to have. Do you see what it is? Can you tell what it is? Well, it is a spare LP inflator. It's actually not expensive at all. You can get it online, and it really is maybe like a 10-minute repair, and it really can make the whole difference. We were on a trip in Hawaii, and my son's LP inflator stopped working, and we had one to repair it with, and it was magic. It works fantastic. Another thing that I carry with me at all times is spare clips for your fins. And I actually had a spare strap. Actually, I had 2 spare straps that I put on my son's fins because his got lost. And that actually happens quite often, especially those that you detach. So someone's getting out of the water, they detach one side, they forget they detached one side, they detach the other side to remove their fin, and then the whole strap floats away into the ocean. And so I usually used to have 2 straps, and they are now in the mail coming to us to replace the ones that I gave away to my son. I also usually have a spare clip for an alternate or an octopus. An alternate or a main second stage, a primary second stage. And now I'm not a fan of this model, which is why it's in my spare kit. I'll use it if I have to. I have another type, which I will show you on a video, that's all about clips and lanyards and what I use to attach things to my BCD. But it's good to have a spare one just in case. I have a spare mask strap for the back, a strap cover actually. And these are fantastic with long hair, with wet hair, with kids, with anyone. It's fantastic to put it on the back. And last but not least, I have a two spare attachments for your snorkel to your mask. And that is just an example of some of the things that I carry in my Save a Dive kit.